Friends, never giving up is a wonderful quality that can lead any person to success. It is the power that helps us face challenges and achieve our goals. Without perseverance, we can easily give up. In this video, we will learn about the power of never giving up and its importance. We will also look at some famous examples of this virtue and learn how we can develop it in our lives, whether you want to be successful in your career, your relationships, or your personal development. Perseverance is one of the most important tools you have. This video will give you the inspiration you need to move forward and achieve your goals. So let's learn more about today's Buddhist story. Through this, we understand what perseverance is and how it can bring changes in our life. Once a very sad person came to a Mahatma and said, "I am very unhappy with my life. I am not happy even with my wife, children, and my family. I can't keep it. I am not able to do anything even for myself. Sometimes I even think of ending my life. You do so much sadhana. You do so much penance. Can you tell me some way by which I can overcome my bad times? I am going through a very bad time. It has become very difficult for me even to arrange 2 meals a day. Now please tell me, how should I stay alive in such a time? How should I keep my family happy? Please do something simple. Please tell me the methods so that I can understand easily, because I am not very educated. If you talk about big knowledge, then perhaps I will never be able to understand." Hearing this, the Mahatma said smilingly that you can do one thing. Pointing towards me, he said that there is a temple on that high hill, and near that temple there is a house of ants where thousands of ants live. You will find it very strange to hear, but those ants spoil the land of that temple. It destroys the fertility of that soil, due to which no tree or grass can grow there. You do one thing for me, after that I will answer your questions. You go to that hill every day for 7 days and destroy that ant house. Whenever you see an ant house around the temple, destroy it right there. But remember that no ant should die while demolishing the house. Try to understand this. While doing so, the young man went away from there. Perhaps he did not understand why Mahatma Ji was making them do this. He was doing injustice to those ants, demolishing their houses, causing harm to them after all, which Mahatma would do such a thing. But then, also following the advice of that Mahatma, he started going to the hill from the very next day. When he reached the hill on the first day, he saw that many ants were busy collecting their food. All the ants were walking in a row, and seeing that she was collecting small particles of grains in her house, at first the young man's heart became weak. He thought that she is working so hard to fill her house, and if I destroy her house, then how bad will she feel? But then, remembering the words of that Mahatma, he started demolishing that house. Soon there was an outcry among the ants. They started running here and there. Those who were walking in a queue now scattered and started running here and there to save their lives. After some time, the house collapsed and all the ants had run away to hide. After doing this, the young man returned back to his house with a sad heart. His mind was troubled, sad, and full of remorse. Then he left his house. While lying in bed at night, I thought that now the house of those ants has been destroyed. Now what is the purpose of going back there? Now, what will be the benefit, because Mahatma Ji had asked me to destroy the house of ants, which I have already done. But then, after thinking something, he decided to go again the next day, and after waking up early the next morning, he returned to the same hill. After reaching the hill, he reached the same place where he had destroyed that house the previous morning. But he is shocked to see that those ants had again made their house at the same place, and now they were again busy in collecting things for their house. Looking at the man, he felt how foolish these ants are. It is known that just yesterday their house was destroyed at the same place, and they also built their new house at the same place. And thinking this, the man was about to laugh, but again remembering the Mahatma's words, he destroyed the house of those ants again. Started doing it again. There was a commotion among those ants, and after some time those ants started running here and there to save their lives. In some time their house was again destroyed, and the young man felt a little satisfied that this, after all, I have destroyed that house thoroughly. Now those ants will not be able to make their home there. That is why before leaving he also poured cold water on that house so that the ants cannot make their home there. And thus, after completing his duty, the young man again returned to his home. Tonight, while sleeping, the man was again thinking whether Mahatma is getting this work done right. Does destroying someone's house befit a perfect man? What if? That Mahatma is a perfect man? What if he is fooling me, but then he decided that if I complete my work first, then only I will know why the Mahatma was making me do this, and thinking this, he went to bed at night. He sleeps and wakes up the next morning and goes towards the same hill. After reaching the hill, he reaches the same place where he had destroyed their house, and he is happy to see that there is no one there. There was no home. All the ants had fled from there. Now he thought, what was the purpose of my coming every day, because the ants had changed their house, and Mahatma Ji had asked me to come for 7 days. But today is only the 3rd day. Now what was the purpose of coming back for the remaining 4 days? And thinking this, he decided that from here, he would go straight to the same Mahatma and tell him all this news. When he turned back and started going from that hill towards that Mahatma's hut, he saw. Then suddenly his eyes fell on another house which was made by ants only, meaning that the house was built by ants, and now those ants had settled in a new house. This new house was at a short distance from their old house, and when the young man's eyes fell on that house, he thought that perhaps the Mahatma knew that these ants would change their home from here to some other place. That is why he had asked me to come for 7 days, and considering this, he would make it their new home. When he reached there, the ants were still engaged in their work. They were collecting food for themselves and storing it in their house. The old house, which was broken, there were also particles of grain left there, and the ants were collecting grains from there too and bringing them back to their new home. Now here again, the young man's mind became a little weak because he himself was weak, and he himself was a victim of time. That is why in his mind those ants were. He was feeling pity towards them. He wanted to help them, but on the contrary, he was harming them. But remembering the words of that Mahatma, he again decided to demolish that house, and this time he started destroying those houses very carefully without causing any harm to any ant. It took a little more time because the Mahatma had already laid down the condition of not harming any ant. Hence, he had to destroy those houses very carefully. But finally, he destroyed that house also, and after destroying that house, he was very sad at heart. This time, he was more sad than before because he had destroyed their new house also. He was not allowing himself to settle down, and now he had started considering himself a devil or a demon, but still, following the advice of that Mahatma, he came back to his home with a sad heart. Before sleeping at night, he thought again, "What a big devil I am, what a big demon I am. Leave aside the old house. I am not giving any place to those ants to settle anywhere. What would those ants think about me? How many messengers they would send to the God who has brought this message through me? He is getting the work done, but still he decided to go the next day, and the next morning he reached there again. He was again surprised to see that this time the ants had made their home at a new place. She was working with more energy than before, and in one night she had built a bigger house than before, and now she was again busy collecting her grains and food. Seeing this, the man felt that, what kind of soil are these ants made of? I am trying to drive them away from here again and again, and they make their home there. Don't they know that I will never let them settle here? This is an ant in appearance. It is so small, but still it is not accepting defeat from me. It is very surprising, and this time in anger it started destroying that house, but this time while destroying it, some ants died there and got crushed under its feet. When he came out of his ego after crushing the ants, he saw how much damage he had caused to those ants in his anger. His heart was filled with remorse, and he went towards his home crying. While sleeping at night, he thought that I am torturing those ants too much. Now I will not be able to do more atrocities than this, and thinking this, he takes some flour from his house to the same hill the next day, and today he has respect for those ants in his mind. Today he wanted to help them, and when he reached there, the ants were again busy in building their new house. He very kindly fed the ants with the flour he had brought, and for the next 3, he kept doing the same for days. The person who was harming the ants for the last 4 days was now helping them. He would go every morning and feed flour to those ants with his own hands. After 7 days, the young man went to that Mahatma. Reaching there, he folds his hands and says, "Oh, Mahatma Ji, please forgive me. I tried very hard to destroy the house of those ants. I destroyed their house not even once, but 4 times. After that, I could not muster the courage. I can understand that I have not completed your work, and in return you will not tell me the ways that can get me out of my bad times, but I have no regrets about it. I think whatever I did was right. That's why I am going back after taking your permission. Please allow me to go back to my home." Hearing this, the Mahatma said smilingly, "Hey son, why wait so soon? At least have some refreshments and stay for a while before that." Later he goes away, and saying this, the Mahatma brings water for the young man. After giving him water, the Mahatma asks the young man to tell me why you could not destroy the house of those ants. They are small ants, and you are so huge, still you could not destroy the house of those small ants. Where is your power, your muscle power? Answering this, the young man said, "Oh, Guru, I had destroyed the house of those ants. I had done it again and again. Once in my anger I had harmed those ants too, but the day I harmed them, I felt that why am I harming them? Why am I giving them so much trouble? And from that day onwards, I decided not to harm them." Instead of helping them, the Mahatma said after hearing this that this is the thing to learn. A small ant gives us the message of life. I did not send you to destroy the house of those ants. I sent you so that, can you learn something from those ants? Can you tell me what lesson did you learn from those ants? Hearing this, the young man told the whole story. After listening to the whole story, the Mahatma said smilingly, "Son, I will show you what you felt." What she wanted was that no matter how many times you tried to break her house, how many times you tried to destroy her house, but every time she built a new house, she never gave up. If she had given up, you don't find ants there. When a small ant can change the heart of such a big man with his faith and hard work, then you can definitely change the mind of people. You have no reason left for not changing your destiny in your life. Life is working. It is the name of hard-working person. But we humans break down after getting defeated once or twice, become dejected, and then do not make any efforts in life, and some people are bent on ending their lives. But in animals, you must have seen one thing, that they can never end their life by themselves. You must have never heard that any animal has committed suicide, no matter how hungry that animal is, how sad it is, but it is fighting for its life. Always keep struggling, but on the other hand, we humans end our life only after getting frustrated once or twice. Life is the name of doing work. That is why never stop doing work before death, because after death you will be in ultimate rest. If you are going to leave, then why are you leaving your work before that? Why are you getting frustrated? If one of your houses is broken, then try to build another house. Try, and those who try never lose. You have seen this from those ants. Those ants look so small compared to you, and you are so big. But their mind is so much bigger than yours. It is so big, they have so much determination, that even after breaking their house so many times, those ants never gave up. The second lesson was to be learned from here. It was that whenever a bad time comes upon us, we think that this time will never go, this time will ruin my life, will never let me live, and with these thoughts of ours, which have no existence in reality, they are just thoughts. And the same thoughts make our mind sad, and that is why we stop trying. But you think for yourself that again and again nature will hurt us, harm us. But for how long will it hurt us if we get up again and make a new effort? If we keep doing this, then nature will also kneel before us, and one day she will also become kind to us, and she will start giving us everything that we ever wished for. That is why it is also said that bad times do not last forever for anyone. I saw that you had come to destroy those ants, but later you started giving grains and flour to those ants. Why did you become kind to them? Because you saw that those ants were not accepting defeat. Similarly, if you never give up in your life, then one day this nature will give you everything that you wanted to achieve in your life. That is why always remember that we just have to keep working without stopping, without getting tired, and without worrying about the result. And secondly, that one day or the other nature will definitely give you the results of your actions. Then, friends, how did you like this story? Please tell us in the comment section, and if you liked it, then do subscribe to this channel. Let's meet in a new story like this. Till then, with no new message, take care. Thanks, Namo Buddhaya.